Today we will be talking about Eleanor Roosevelt. Can anybody tell me what president was her husband? Good, President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Before becoming a First Lady, Eleanor had already accomplished a lot, overcoming the women's typical role as a housewife. Her education was at Ellen's Wood Girls' Academy in England. She became a teacher herself at the Todhunter School for Girls, where she taught upper-level history and American literature courses. She encouraged her students to think independently and focused on social engagement and current events. During her work with the women's trade union, she worked very hard passing new policies for women workers and eventually abolished child labor. At first, Eleanor was reluctant to become a First Lady, a role that was constrained to hosting parties and domesticating tasks. This greatly depressed her, but thanks to her education, enthusiasm, and support from her husband and other local leaders, she sought to redefine the position. She became the first president's wife to hold regularly press conferences, some exclusively only to women, in hopes of encouraging more newspaper companies to hire them. Eleanor regularly gave motivating speeches on justice and the responsibilities of citizens and their government. When the Great Depression hit on the 29th of December in 1929, Eleanor worked consistently to aid a diverse population of people who were greatly affected. She had a large part in drafting the New Deal by becoming the messenger between the people and their government. She showed support for the homeless, unemployed, and hungry. After the Great Depression ended in 1939, her activism did not. She worked hard to fight for people's rights. She had many newspaper comics written about her. This is from the New Yorker in 1933. She often visited mining sites to educate herself and encourage the workers, something that surprised them greatly. On February 9th, 1940, Eleanor became the First Lady to testify before the United States Congress. Her argument was for reform on social institutions like homes for the elderly and child care centers.
I came away with the feeling that if in the United States blue plains was our conception of how to care for the aged, we were at a pretty low ebb of civilization. It was a sick feeling you got from the whole atmosphere.
Eleanor became an important public symbol for the American people when she spoke out to the people about what the attack on Pearl Harbor would mean for them.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm speaking to you tonight at a very serious moment in our history. The Cabinet is convening and the leaders in Congress are meeting with the President. The State Department and Army and Navy officials have been with the President all afternoon. In fact, the Japanese ambassador was talking to the President at the very time that Japan's airships were bombing our citizens in Hawaii and the Philippines and sinking one of our transports loaded with lumber on its way to Hawaii. By tomorrow morning, the members of Congress will have a full report and be ready for action. In the meantime, we, the people, are already prepared for action. For months now, the knowledge that something of this kind might happen has been hanging over our heads, and yet it seemed impossible to believe, impossible to drop the everyday things of life and feel that there was only one thing which was important: preparation to meet an enemy, no matter where he struck. That is all over now, and there is no more uncertainty. We know what we have to face, and we know that we are ready to face it. I should like to say just a word to the women in the country tonight. I have a boy at sea on a destroyer. For all I know, he may be on his way to the Pacific. 2 of my children are in coast cities on the Pacific. Many of you all over this country have boys in the services who will now be called upon to go into action. You have friends and families in what has suddenly become a danger zone. You cannot escape anxiety. You cannot escape the clutch of fear at your heart. And yet I hope that the certainty of what we have to meet will make you rise above these fears. We must go about our daily business more determined than ever to do the ordinary things as well as we can. And when we find a way to do anything more in our communities to help others, to build morale, to give a feeling of security, we must do it. To the young people of the nation, I must speak a word tonight. You are going to have a great opportunity. There will be high moments in which your strength and your ability will be tested. I have faith in you. I feel as though I was standing upon a rock. That rock is my faith in my fellow citizens. Whatever is asked of us, I am sure we can accomplish it. We are the free and unconquerable people of the United States of America.
Eleanor completely changed the role of the First Lady from a domestic responsibility to a heroine voice of the people.